Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
I'm Will Leggetter.
And returning once more we have...
Ava Robinson.
Ava Robinson. And Ava, without a further ado, introduce us to this week's film, which... Ooh. Did I get that voice? Which you, in no uncertain terms, you've basically said, if you ever was brutal enough to pick a favourite film, this would be it.
Yeah, it's definitely top three, but yeah, arguably it could be number one. So this is 1993's Dazed and Confused.
This country is founded by people who were into aliens, man. George Washington, man, he was in a cult, and the cult was into aliens, man. You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, man, they were way into that type of stuff, man.
Written and directed by Richard Linklater, and it is just absolutely, I adore it because it's this meandering glimpse into teenage life set in Texas on the last day of school in 1976, which, what a time.
You're getting air from there, man. It's no good.
It was the last day of school.
Miss Crawford, I was thinking that maybe you and I can get together over the summer. I mean, it'll be legal. I mean, we can make...
It was the first day of summer vacation.
You guys know anything about a party here tonight? No, sir.
Pop quiz. Bet you didn't know this was coming. Dazed and Confused. Right, here we go. Dazed and Confused takes place on the last day of school in which year?
1976.
Okay, 1 point. What is Randall Floyd's nickname?
Pink.
Give it to Will. You'll get the rest.
Yeah.
The film was the first big break for many up-and-coming actors. What soon-to-be star appeared in an uncredited role?
Renee Zellweger.
Correct. What is written on O'Banion's paddle?
Don't know.
Ass Smasher. No, I'm kidding. F-A-H-Q. A great deal of the film's budget was spent on licensing rights for the soundtrack. What band refused to license their song? Dazed and Confused. Led Zeppelin is correct.
Yeah.
In one of his first feature film appearances, Matthew McConaughey plays what character?
Wooderson.
Wiley Wiggins stars as Mitch Kramer. He later worked again with director Richard Linklater in which film?
Don't know.
Waking Life. What is the name of the pool hall in the movie?
Emporium.
Correct. What type of truck did the football coach's mother reportedly drive?
Don't know.
Mac. At the beginning of the movie, Tony admits to having an erotic dream with a beautiful woman who has the head of what former president?
Abraham Lincoln.
Correct. What does Mitch throw out of Pickford's car, smashing the back window of a parked car?
Bowling ball.
Correct. Whose party is cancelled when the cakes are delivered early?
Pickford.
Correct. This Pulp Fiction director, who directed Pulp Fiction?
Quentin.
Point for Will. What scientist does Clint mockingly call Mike after Mike makes an observation about Clint smoking
Isaac
weed?
Newton.
Isaac Newton is correct. At the end of the movie, Pink and his friends are driving to purchase tickets for which band's concert?
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith is correct. Which Dazed and Confused actor won an Academy Award for screenwriting in 1997? Ben
Affleck.
Ben Affleck is correct for Good Will Hunting. What is Wooderson's signature phrase?
All right.
All right. That was the most posh way. Which first lady does Slater refer to as a hip hip lady?
Martha Washington.
Martha Washington is correct. What does Pink refuse to sign throughout the film?
A pledge.
No drugs.
Correct. Yeah. No drugs. The red-headed Cynthia is played by what half of a famous set of Hollywood twins? Marissa Ribisi, sister of Giovanni Ribisi of Ted fame. Which character's mother pulls a shotgun on O'Banion?
Carl.
Carl is correct. Anthony Rapp, who plays Tony, later played a leading role in what film based on a Broadway hit?
Rent.
Rent is correct. Near the end of the movie, where do Pink and his friends decide to smoke a joint?
The Football field.
The 50-yard
50
line
yard
of the
line.
football field. What 2016 Richard Linklater film has been called a spiritual successor to Dazed and Confused?
Boyhood.
Everybody Wants Some. Mila Jovovich's character Michelle steals 2 statues and paints them to resemble members of what band?
Kiss.
Kids. Which character flunked his senior year and must repeat it?
O'Banion.
What is the name of Mitch, Tommy, Hirschfelder and Carl Jr.'s high school teacher?
Ooh, I don't know.
Mr. Payne. Rory Cochrane portrayed Slater in Dazed and Confused and later went on to star in what other 90s hit film?
Don't know.
Empire Records. Like many Richard Linklater films, Dazed and Confused is set in which state?
Texas.
Which Dazed and Confused star was arrested in 2013 for suspicion of assault and disorderly conduct?
Jason London.
Correct. What does Mitch do 42 times over the course of the film?
Go like that.
Grab his nose. Which character's long hair was, in fact, a wig?
Male or female?
Slater.
Oh.
The role of Benny was originally going to be played by what actor who was later made famous by Wedding Crashers?
Owen Wilson.
Sandler.
The other one, it was Vince Vaughn. Which Dazed and Confused actor name his production company JKL, short for Just Keep Living?
It's not McConaughey.
It is McConaughey. You are incorrect. So you got a lot of them right, but you didn't get the last one, so you do lose.
Or whatever.
No, but you did do pretty well. Obviously, one of your tops. Right, straight into. Oh, let's get to it. Will Virgin Watch? What do you think?
Well, I wasn't that big of a fan. We'll get to this later. I think the biggest reason was it wasn't really relatable for me. Like I couldn't get into it because a lot of the characters in this are people I have despised, and it didn't. I always say fulfill my needs. That's not what you say about films. I just crave movie.
It's what I say now. So you know, nobody else is going to do it.
It just didn't. There were some lovely moments, but for me, it's not one of my favourites.
Yeah, this is a first. This is the first film where one of us is slightly less enthused. Right, opening line Hall of Fame. I'm headed this way. Great.
No.
But in a way, she is headed one way and everybody else is headed another. I'm going to get this out of the way now. I love this film. I've watched it a lot. Most people's names I just don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know if it's because they don't say them a lot. And I think in the research, I've come to know people's names that I've never known before. That's that. So if I start referring to people as like
The actor.
glasses, which will happen. Let's see what the YouTubers think. Well, not the YouTubers, but the YouTube comments. Here we are. They don't make films like this anymore. True. Freedom died in 1999. This film is a reminder of that feeling. First time I saw this movie, I took an edible, and I was truly dazed and confused while watching it. Is this worth watching drunk? Reason being, I've had 9 beers. IMDb says it's a classic. The kind of movie that reminds me I will never be in an awesome student party with any friends.
Oh.
I'm going to cry. I watched this movie 3 months ago and I forgot the name, but I was the name on TikTok and Googled it. This is it. I don't even understand that.
No.
This movie is like Grown Ups 2 that meets Reality Bites with Ben Stiller.
Oh my god.
Watching this movie while high is so weird. Was that Mila Jovovich or whatever you spell it? Lol.
I know, I feel so bad for her because like so many of her scenes got cut and it looks like she's hardly in it. Like she doesn't even say a word, really.
Do you know why they got cut?
No.
Because she started dating Pickford, wasn't it?
Well, they got married in secret and then had to get it annulled because,
But they started cutting the scenes because they really didn't like Pickford. Pickford was a real prick, apparently.
Oh, really?
So they just started ripping the pages out. Ripping the pages out. And I can see that. He looks annoying. He's good in the beer scene when he's like, yeah, so maybe I think you came a little early. But yeah, all the same. Going into it, Will, did you know anything?
No.
So, if in a hypothetical world, you were to make this film better in a way, what would you do? Where would you be leaning? What would you be leaning to do?
I don't know. I don't think that's a nice question because it's just a bad question.
Call me David Frost.
Because I think the reason why I didn't enjoy it, that's just subjective to me. It's the reason you're saying, oh, how would you make that better? By changing it, I would change the nature of the film. I do very much like the soundtrack, if I can move on to that.
Soundtrack is excellent.
That's all the way through. That's why I was thinking, the soundtrack for me, yes, please. If you love 70s rock, this is the film for you.
Yes, very much so, indeed. Let's go through it now, and let's do some ranking. Sweet Emotion, Highway Star, School's Out. Pick of the Pops, Tony. Pick of the Pops. Jim Daddy, up at 3, Why Can't We Be Friends? Down, Strangehold. Up, Alice Cooper, No More Mr. Nice Guy. Free Ride by Dan Hartman. Do You Feel Like We Do? Low Rider. Hurricane, I Just Want to Make Love to You. Love Hurts. Paranoid. There's Never Been Any Reason. Tush. Fox on the Run. Slow Ride. Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. Show Me the Way. Lord Have Mercy on My Soul. Rock and Roll All Night. Right Place, Wrong Time. Living in the USA. Hey Baby. Cherry Bomb. Summer Breeze. Tuesday's Gone.
I mean, you started Tony and then you slowly turned into Alan.
I always do. I want to see Roger Moore necking Fiona Fullerton. You're getting Bond wrong.
The volcano, and it splits up and a big rocket comes out. There's all chinkies jumping down. It's not a thunderball. No, stop getting Bond wrong!
Are you ready for this one, Will? Go on. Say it, Ava.
I'm not going to say it.
Well, you're going to have to with despises Steve Coogan is the way that she phrases it.
I don't despise Steve
comedian.
Coogan. I don't despise Steve Coogan. I watched the whole of whatever Alan Partridge, whatever you showed me.
We watched
straight face.
We watched The Man Who Thinks He Is It. So she saw every character. She saw Paul Carf. She saw Tony Farino. Saw Pauline. She saw Alan. Saw Duncan Thicket. Just didn't like any of it.
I cannot fault any Alan Partridge at all.
It's pretty good.
The greatest thing ever made.
Well, I don't know if it's the greatest. It's very good. What are our favourites on that soundtrack?
All of it.
Very diplomatic of you.
No, like I was watching it last night and I was like, okay, I'll like make a note of every time it's like a drop and it just fits beautifully. And literally like it honestly is like, you know, that I'm like a big fan of Hurricane and that whole scene. Even though that's not like
you love
a
Ruben
straight
Carter's Story of Plight.
But then like a lot, like School's Out, it's kind of a bit, you know, you think it's kind of cliche, but it works.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
So,
I'd go Hurricane
mhm.
or No More Mr. Nice Guy. I love No More Mr. Nice Guy.
I like Free Ride. Free Ride
Free
grew
Ride.
on me
Yeah.
as a nice transition during one of those transition montages. But yeah, all of
Yeah,
it.
into them watching him at the baseball game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I did feel a lot of nostalgia because it reminded me of the movie Barnyard. That old animation where all of the farm animals. It's like Toy Story.
Yeah, I've seen Barnyard.
No, it's for the viewers who haven't seen Barnyard. Go now
The
and watch
cows are like
Barnyard.
really.
It's wonderful.
Humanoid cows.
It was that sort of music. It was brilliant.
I think
now I
this
want to
may
watch
be the
Barnyard.
first time that anybody has ever compared the soundtrack. Watch Mojo. Number 2, Dazed and Confused. This soundtrack compiles the best 70s hits of all time. And a few honorary mentions. Number 1, Barnyard. This animated, some people might forget this animated movie, but what they should know is that it's got one of the better soundtracks of all time. Watch Mojo. Come back for more. Go on.
Stop it.
I used to love Watch Mojo.
I love Watch Mojo.
Still do.
Yeah.
I think it's very clinical.
Yeah, but I just kind of like just skip and fast forward.
I watched
watch it all.
Ms. Mojo for a while because that's got like the best musical theatre stuff. And then that took me to a channel called Mr. Go Lightly. And it's just a compilation all of the top notes. And it's wonderful. I can have that on for ages.
I literally, even though each video is 20 minutes and you are hearing the same phrase over and over again, like literally, me and Lady from the Past on our holiday, she was ill. So we were bunkered in. And for a good 3 hours, we just watched like the New Argentina one. Is enough to drive you mad. Yeah. She's a watch, she loves you. It's just the same thing over and over again. And
some of it's real bad.
Oh yeah, those are a few real screamers. And speaking of like relating to the people, I'm not a stoner.
Really?
Really. I have never, taken any drugs of any kind other than alcohol. But, and in the back of my mind, I'm always like, oh, I don't really like stoner movies. But I love Dazed and Confused. I love Big Lebowski. I love a lot of those, Seth Rogen stuff.
Mm.
I do like a lot of stoner movies.
I think the thing with this, and if you like look at it as yes, it can be branded as a stoner movie, a stoner comedy.
I think it's reductive to call it a stoner movie, actually.
Yeah,
I think that's
because
a way that it's been mismarketed over the years.
Yeah, and like a big thing, like how Will, you said, you didn't like the setting and also the characters. There wasn't that level of relation or anything to them. Like, I think. Because then that made me think, well, why do I like it so much? Why do I relate to it? And even though, this is so not my / our generation, like my parents, because you just had the pleasure of meeting my mum, but she's American from Chicago, but my dad is English, but he grew up on the East Coast. And when he is the one who loved this, and it's through him that I first watched this movie and came across it. And he said literally every time he watches it, the casting is to a T. Like he knew every single one of these people. And just, so that like, because like he kind of validates it. And even though, Linklater doesn't flaunt his cast, like because they are pretty much like unknowns, especially like the bigger names now, they were kind of unknown at the time. Like, I just think it's, at the very least, the casting is very, very accurate and unpretentious, and that's kind of what makes it relatable, even if it's not to my own generation.
You do forget, it's that weird thing of like rewatching Wet Hot American Summer and going like, wait a minute, Bradley Cooper's in this, Amy Poehler's in this, everybody's in this, you forget that it happens like once every decade, like a film where they cast 30 unknowns, not 30, that's a bit much, where they cast like 10 unknowns, and then well, Anthony Minghella talked about this with Mr. Ripley, Talented Mr. Ripley. He said he wanted to make a film and cast the most promising young talent, and he said within a year they all had lead roles in films. Because look at Ripley, you've got Blanchett, Philip Seymour Hoffman, obviously Matt Damon coming off Good Will Hunting, he's a bit more of a star, Gwyneth Paltrow coming off Shakespeare in Love, and Jude Law. Judy. Hey Jude. Ava knows this. What's my only acceptable use of Hey Jude?
What, Tenenbaums?
Yeah. Not the freeing of Mordecai. I don't like that because it's the na 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 na.
Well, then...
But I love. Well, I don't love it, but I really like, Hey Jude, refrain. I like the first half. I can't stick the second half. And and I love the opening montage of Tenenbaums. Oh God, and that sort of vaguely orchestral Hey Jude, beautiful.
Well, let's do it.
Rushmore.
Let's do it now. We've both done that Bill Clinton album thing.
Swag.
We both put Beatles albums on there. What's the best Beatles song?
Ever? Oh, well. Okay, you do yours, Will. I'll do mine, and then I'll give you the Kaiser Soze Usual Suspects twist.
Eleanor Rigby.
Yeah, it is Eleanor Rigby. That is without a shadow of a doubt. Ava,
absolutely. What's
your favourite Beatles song?
I feel that I can't comment on this subject because...
She doesn't like the Beatles! Oh!
Yeah.
Like, not even like... And she doesn't even do the thing where it's like... I don't personally like them, but I could admit that they were the greatest band ever.
No, I wouldn't admit that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I don't personally like them. And... Okay, why would I admit something is the greatest band ever if I didn't actually like them?
Well, it's like me with Hamilton. I don't like it, but I can admit that it's a solid show and it's a revolutionary show.
Yeah, I appreciate. I've said countlessly. I appreciate the absolute phenomenon of the Beatles when they first went to America and their lasting legacy. I completely respect that and understand it, but their actual music is not for me.
Written some
I'm a Ava, obviously you prefer immensely and diehard fan of the Stones.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your Rolling Stones? Well,
it's the Devil's Advocate classic.
Oh, Painted Black.
Painted Black.
Oh, what an ending. My favourite sin. Ha! Do you like The Devil's Advocate, Ava?
I watched it probably years and years ago. I need a rewatch.
Well, if you want to rewatch, you can come on the episode. I'm the hand of Mona Lisa Scott. Shoot me! Yeah! Power! That's going to be a very good episode.
He just goes full Al Pacino.
That's all I'm going to do on that episode. A double whiskey. Just start screaming. It'll be good. It'll be a good episode. Did you see what Mick said about Paul McCartney saying that the Beatles were better than the Rolling Stones?
No.
So Macca's last week said that they were better, didn't he? I can't remember the exact quote, but he said that the Beatles were the best band ever. I think he just admitted it, which is really weird, and I didn't like it. Far too self-obsessed. And then Mick said yesterday well, you know, he said, well, you know, one of us is lucky to still be doing concerts and the other band doesn't exist anymore. So he's really throwing shade at George Harrison's cancer death and the assassination of John Lennon. By who?
Jared Leto.
But yeah, put up the picture.
What's his name?
Fat Jared. I can't remember. It's triple barrel.
Yeah, I know. What's it with triple barrel surnames?
David Chapman.
Names.
That's him.
Marky Mark. Not Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, not Mark Wahlberg didn't kill John Lennon. But he did knock the eye. He did blind a Vietnamese person.
How?
Well, no, he didn't blind him. So basically, the Vietnamese guy had a glass eye from something, and then he beat him up, like shouting Vietnam racist stuff, and he knocked the glass eye out, and he thought that he blinded him, and then he found God, and then he became a movie star. So next time you watch Ted, which leads us on to deleted scenes. There's 20 minutes of deleted scenes. First one is what's his name? Cole Hauser, ginger guy, two Vietnamese. Well, they're Asian. He calls them Vietnamese. We don't know if they're Vietnamese. Anyway, and they walk across, and he calls them slang-eyed and other racial terms. So I can understand why they cut that to sort of not villain, so we don't hate Cole Hauser. But yeah, it's very we won the war and all that, because that is obviously and I think that's a nice element of it. I think it's very realistic.
Yeah. There's
not a scene where, I don't know, they're on the team. I don't know, what was the big thing in 76? 76 was Taxi Driver and All the President's Men. They don't go to the movie, they don't walk past the cinema and they go, hey, Taxi Driver's on. I wonder what that's about. I don't want to watch a movie where a guy drives around in a taxi. Hey, and then he'd probably go, I'd rather stick with Danny DeVito. I like that taxi instead.
Oh my God. But no, it's very true. There's not like, it's not like overt historical references.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. Which makes it feel more authentic.
What is the film that's billboarded in the background? It's a Hitchcock.
What is it?
Family Plot.
I don't remember seeing a movie thing banner, but anyway.
It's when they're just drinking beers in the back of the van.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Family Plot. Yeah. Well, there you go. The more you know, and knowing's half the battle. Best 10-minute stretch. I'm going Schools Out into the Chasers.
Well, the thing is with the Chasers, like this. I mean, this I could talk about like if there was a change, but
we'll get to
the
that.
hazing,
we do have what's the change.
But like with the hazing, it is very clearly a Texas thing. Like every time I watch it, my parents are like, was there anything like this? And they're like, no, it's a Texas thing, or maybe a Southern thing. So that, like, yeah, it's fun and exciting, but like, I feel like the guy hazing, when they whack them with the bats, like that's kind of spotted, and obviously it has like a full circle with O'Banion's prank. But yeah, but like the girls when they're in Darla, who's Parker Posey, oh my God. She just like stresses me out, and like, I know. Oh my God,
how horrible is that? The hot dogs will.
I would not like to be one of them.
No. They get it far worse than, well, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, they're like uni initiation.
Tom's big question: would you rather get 5 licks, or would you rather get hot dogged and then go through the card?
It stresses me out. Like putting ketchup and food and egg on me. No.
I used to hate that scene because it just
Oh,
I don't like messy food. I
Yeah,
don't like.
neither.
That's why Animal House. I don't like the food fight scene because food fights have never been appealing to me. And that
Yeah.
just sounds disgusting. And
Literally
somebody has to
never.
clean it up.
I mean, and then I'm always kind of relieved when they like take them to the car wash and like.
Oh yeah,
they
it's
get...
nice. It's like.
And then I'm like, oh okay, but when it's going on, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah,
No.
it's like Gone Girl when she goes in the shower. Ben Affleck again.
Ben Affleck. There's
However,
something.
you don't see his wang in Dazed and Confused. You're doing Gone Girl. Well, a bit of it. Do we like Gone Girl?
Not seen it.
Ever?
No. It's. I think it's on Netflix. Isn't it?
I'm pretty
Maybe that
sure
could
it's on that.
could be our bonus after Hannibal. We've yet to
Very
decide.
much. I've always wanted to watch it.
It's a great film.
Have you read the book?
No, my mum didn't
Neither
get
have I.
through it. Neither did my grandma.
It's kind of like the resident like middle-aged woman reading on a
Yeah.
beach book.
It was that. Let's do this. They should have the Academy Awards for middle-aged woman on a beach book. It was Gone Girl, and then Girl on the Train took the mantle, and then what's taken the mantle now?
Ooh.
Apple Tree Yard, but that was a bit more psychological. And that didn't flip quick.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask. My mum's currently
That could be a whole segment.
She's currently rereading Widows. Linda LaPlante. Girl on the Train movie. Abysmal.
No. Very bad.
We all left the cinema feeling depressed. It was like draining how dull it was. And Lisa Kudrow was in it. Justin Theroux was good. I can see him as a sort of, creepy bastard. Who was really good? The beautiful, sexy blonde. I thought she was actually, her scenes were the most interesting. She's the dead one, Ava. And you get lots of flashbacks with it. And I thought she did a better job than Emily Blunt. And I mean, I'm disservicing her because I don't know her actual name. But she was, from what I can remember, the best part. Yeah. Rolling apart between her thighs. Best lyric in Evita. Will. Oh, sorry. What are you going against it then, Ava, for best 10-minute stretch? It is very hard because it's so.
It is so
flowing.
Yeah.
There's no blocks.
Yeah, but the first things that came to mind, because I think you could probably cut it into a 10-minute straight, but again, like the transition from again when Free Riders played, because that's when the sun's kind of setting, they're like getting picked up, getting changed, they're out driving. That's the first time you really see like a lot of
the rest
road
of the film's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. And then you probably get a shot or two in the Emporium. You definitely see Wooderson for the first time at the drive-in restaurant. So probably something like that.
Be a lot cooler if you did. Wilhelm?
Hello. I would also say the school's outfit because that's the first point in the film where I started thinking, oh, it's something's happening now. That's just my really cynical view on the film.
Yeah.
But it was just like, it's the big sort of burst of energy. Oh, this bit looks cool. And they're all, I enjoyed that.
And that was, Tom, I did use that exact School's Out segment in my project that I did last year.
Oh, you did? And that was the one that nobody knew. Talk about that project. It was very good. Well, no, you don't need to talk about feminist experimental theatre, but talk about what you did.
I'll brief it down. So basically, a performance art project where we could all pick literally anything we wanted to do, literally anything for a 5-minute performance. And I knew I wanted to look at something to do with nostalgia and sentimentality in cinema, and I narrowed that down into like the teenage experience throughout the decades and how movies represent that. So I started in the 50s and went through to the 2000s and made, using Tom's
Editing software.
Editing software. Just a collation of a scene from each movie. So 50s, I did Rebel Without a Cause.
Oh, guess. Well, you skipped the 60s.
Was it Rebel Without a Cause in the 50s?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. And then the 60s, it wasn't made in the 60s, but it's set in the 60s.
I don't.
Oh yeah, I forgot this.
You said it the last episode we did, it came up briefly.
The Graduate? Well, that was in the 60s.
That was 69.
Yeah.
What was the last episode we did?
No, we did Back to the Future, but the movie name came up. Harrison Ford.
Ah, of course. American Graffiti.
Yes.
Which is what Richard Linklater wanted to do with this. That was his pitch. American Graffiti in the 70s.
And then 70s was obviously this. 80s could have picked countless options, but I went with one that was probably going to be the most recognizable.
You don't much care for it, well.
Oh, that could be a lot of things. What is it?
You eat it in the morning?
Oh, Breakfast Club.
No, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
And then 90s was
Emma. No, it's a clue, Will. Oh.
All right. I was just great.
Emma, famously set in the 90s.
Clueless.
I've not seen Clueless.
Clueless is
It's
pretty
Emma.
great. It's like a very loose
Oh my God.
adaptation of Emma.
I need to see Clueless.
It's great.
With,
And then the
Alicia
2000s was Mean Girls to tie it all up. But yeah, and I talked about, given that it was in 2019, it was last year.
Yeah.
When things were good.
Yeah, but like nothing, in my opinion, even though there has been a lot of teen movies out since 2004's Mean Girls, there was nothing else that really like spoke to me in terms of that level.
I was going to say this. What's our Andy's?
That's exactly, and like I remember
Ava's dad. What's our Andy movie? Like, what do we look at that's a perfect? I mean, you love Angus Sons and Perfect Snogging, don't you?
No, but I don't. But that's like, do you know who else loves that? Andy. Yeah. Like, he has this weird likeness to it. Anyway, but no, Sophia. Like, I remember talking to her about it, and like when I looked them up, like there was Perks of Being a Wallflower and Lady Bird, and but none of those, like, no, they don't do it for me really.
Yeah, Lady Bird was fine. But it's Been a Wallflower. I like. I can't remember Watson. And you know, some of those choices he makes. Oh my God! Kiss the most beautiful girl in the room, and he doesn't kiss his girlfriend. What an absolute idiot! Oh my God!
Chalet Girl. That would be mine.
I've never seen Chalet Girl.
Oh, we'll have to get you back on for the Chalet Girl episode.
Yeah.
Tom's weirdly specific favourite part of the film. I've got 6. Vietnam teacher.
Mr. Payne, sir, you know, every second that you could let us out early would really increase our chances of survival.
It's like our sergeant told us before one trip into the jungle. Men, 50 of you are leaving on a mission. 25 of you ain't coming back.
Love him. Well, as they've said in that.
Man, 25 of you ain't coming back.
Mr. Payne. And then I like when he's laughing also, when Cole Hauser just...
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Shotgun Mother. I like her. And that's a reference to Night of the Hunter. Very good film. I like during as much as I don't like the hot dog thing, I like when the one of the blondes goes, "You're doing a really good job, and I want you to know that I went through this like you did. Now fly like." I like that. Anytime Parker Posey says "bitch," I really like that.
Yeah.
You bitch! I want to dance.
Oh, I want to dance.
That's my favourite line of the movie.
And I also like the Love Hurts High School Disco.
Oh,
Love Hurts.
It's like, if you boys leave, you can't come back. Oh, you hear that? If we leave, we can't come back. What should we do? Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Like they're all slow dancing.
I know.
Love Hurts was the name of the 80s album for which female musical singer?
Ooh.
Bonnie
my
Tyler.
God. Who is it?
Musicals singer. On the album was a very famous duet that was a big hit for her.
Dolly
Who is
Parton?
it?
It's the main page.
Sorry, Elaine. I'm so sorry.
Will's more general favourite part of the film.
Yay! Well,
do you have one?
I want to dance. Is love. I do love that. But I really liked. This is going to sound very nerdy and pointless. I really liked the camera shot when they go into the pool club of the table football and the ball coming along. I really liked that camera angle. It was very nice.
You're an embarrassment to the game of pool, and you should be lucky that I let you play. Bang!
Oh.
Eva, if
Yes?
you could, your favourite parts of this film?
Well, I feel like what I've talked about in terms of the music, like the scene, I've said it before, entering the Emporium, like the slow motion. I think pretty much slow motion throughout. It's not, there's enough times it happens, so it's not rare, but just really, and normally it's with close-ups of either like Pink or someone else. But like, I love the use of slow motion.
Pistol shattering out in a barroom night.
Oh, it's just
It was better than a night round the other half. This is a body made a pool of blood.
What else?
My God, they killed them all.
Also, little side note, I was always rooting for Jodie with Pink. I don't like Simone. Even though she's his girlfriend.
Have I got this right? I've put here Mitch's sister. What a babe.
What
is my
a
note.
name.
I am right, aren't I? That's Jodie.
Yeah. And she
absolute terrible decision. What is he doing? Going back to the other one? Jesus. Get a grip.
Like I get that, like because he's dating Simone, who's the one who's like, "Fry, little freshman piggies," like, but then like
I get her mixed up with the other blonde who ends up with Don.
Oh no, she's chill, but the Simone, his girlfriend, Pink's girlfriend, like she's friends with Darla, and she doesn't hang out with them for the whole movie, and like if she does walk past them, she just like gives this bitchy glare, and then suddenly she gets to be in the final shot in the car with them, driving to get Aerosmith tickets.
Get with Mitch's sister, and you like Mitch, and Mitch would be happy. It'd be like a nice little son-in-law thing.
Yeah, it's so cute when he like picks him up and is talking to him, and then invites him out. Like, and also Pink and Jodie are nice. They both take freshmen under their wing.
Yeah, and she's after him from the start. Like when she says, "I'm going to the toilet," tell him we're going to the toilet. Oh my God, she fully more or less gives him a massage. She's like, "I'm going to the toilet."
Well, it's just like they're friends, and you can just sense it. But yeah,
do that to
I was
you.
always on her team. Well, no, but it's different.
No, friends or not, I've never seen friends who don't end up having
No, I mean, like,
sexual
you know
relations.
that they're friends, but by doing that, it's an indication of something more.
Yeah. It shows how much I like that character and think those two should be together. Because
and then when he's
never
like,
advocate for a happy relationship to be squandered by one of the people running off to have meaningless sex with somebody who was always just a friend. So it shows how much I like that character that I am advocating. Yeah, we'll leave it in. Why not? Who cares? That's dead. Right, next now. The Oscar travesty. Nothing. What would we nominate it for? I forgot to get the Oscars up again.
Sound.
What we're talking? 1990. What? 5.
3.
Sound. Would you give it sound though? It's not sound. Sound editing.
Is there cinematography?
I mean, there is the award for cinematography.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. What do we think is better, the directing or the screenplay?
Can we give it to the screenplay, because a lot of stuff was improvised. I always find this with like semi-improvised stuff. I don't like when they get screenplay. Okay, here we go. 94, sorry. Schindler's List, Best Picture. The Fugitive, In the Name of the Father, The Piano, Remains of the Day. Yeah, you can drop Remains of the Day. Best Director, Stevie won for Schindler. In the Name of the Father.
I think you were going to say Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder won for Schindler's List. He wrote a song. I just called to say I love you. That's what that song was for. Best Supporting Actor, McConaughey. You can definitely get rid. Oh,
what?
Tommy Lee Jones won for The Fugitive. Great. Ralph Fiennes nominated for Schindler's List. I think he should have won. DiCaprio for Gilbert Grape. I don't actually think he's that good in that. I think there's a lot of just shouting. I know that's the role or whatever. Pete Postlethwaite in The Name of the Father. Or John Malkovich for In the Line of Fire.
Line of Fire.
As Mitch Leary.
God. I give it to John.
Over Ralph Fiennes as Eamon Goth.
I don't care. I adore In the Line of Fire in a probably unhealthy way.
You are as obsessive over In the Line of Fire as John Malkovich is as obsessive over The Assassination. Best screenplay.
What a film.
Best screenplay, you can definitely get rid of The Piano. She hardly speaks. That's the point of the thing. She don't speak. And that won. Dave is great. I love Dave. In the Line of Fire actually got nominated. Philadelphia, Sleepless in Seattle. Definitely.
Sleepless can go.
Oh. What's a tiramisu? I don't like that part. It doesn't make any sense. So, what if she asked me to do it to her and I don't know what to do? You're going to love it. Like, it's funny, I guess.
It's better than pepper and paprika and pecan pie.
How dare you? How very dare you?
There you go. Tom and Meg or Billy and Meg?
Tom and Meg doesn't count because they don't fucking see each other. And
I hate You've Got Mail. Terrible.
Yeah,
no
exactly.
chemistry.
They don't have any chemistry. That's why Sleepless in Seattle works, because they don't meet each other until the end. And then all she has to do
Harry.
is... Yeah, obviously.
Or Meg and Billy.
Megan, yeah. Oh, when I met Sally, it's just leaps and bounds.
Who's the better couple? Harry and Sally or Marie and Jess? I always say Jess.
Jess. It's Harry and Sally. You've got to
But
say Harry and
Marie-
Sally.
Well,
Yeah,
you
say
do
Harry
have
and Sally.
to, but like,
Mind you, Marie and Jess, when they do
The taxi scene.
the taxi scene's great. Or please tell me I'll never have to be out there again. You'll never have to be out there again. Or
I would never want that coffee table.
I would never want that.
The coffee.
I will never want that coffee table. Oh, what a let's just do whatever it's Sally again. Ding. Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
I'm Will Leggetter.
And today we're talking about When Harry Met Sally. Ava, this is one of your favourite films. I wish. What a world. What a world. Will's favourite building / set.
There's not many to choose from, so I've taken a different stance on this, and I've gone for worst building or set. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's the middle school. It's awful. It looks atrocious.
A lot of graffiti.
It's a real one. It's
American graffiti.
Betty Check Middle School, and it's just flat. It's just beige, and I mean, it's not nice. It looks like a water cabin. Awful. And that's Will's corner.
And that
Will's
concludes Will's corner.
Will's architecture rant. Best leads us into best single minute. For me, it's Wooderson's entrance into the Emporium, or it's Ben Affleck slow-mo, No More Mr. Nice Guy.
For me, it's when Tush comes on and it's the joyride busting mailboxes.
That's good. That's
It's
probably not my favourite song on the soundtrack. I know that's one of your favourites, but of all the songs of all the 4-letter songs ending in USH, I'm definitely going Hush over Tush.
Oh, Hush wins every time. Hush, what a song.
What a Austin Powers outfit with Roman
my God.
Polanski. You dog throws the ball. You pooch. Weird. You know, it'd be like having Bill Cosby. But anyway, it was the time. You can't just ignore who she was married to. Anyway, I mean, I do every time I watch Chinatown or Rosemary's Baby. Still love them. Anyway, best line. If these are the best days of my life, remind me to kill myself. Oh, sorry, Will. What's your single minute?
You
said, didn't you, it was the foosball?
Yeah.
And Ava?
What?
Best line.
Ooh. I love...
No, not best line. Best single minute. Bloody hell.
I said the car.
Oh, yes, you did. Sorry. Best... I said... Best line. Best line. If these are the best days of my life, remind me to kill myself, or guess that makes you deep throat. They're my two. I mean, I could go for 20, but I've had to be a bit more specific. Eva?
I love Slater's. Did you ever look at a dollar bill, man? There's some spooky shit going on there, and it's green too. And then the last, even though it's not the last actual line, because they have the whole scene when Mitch comes back into his house and his mum busts him. When Pink says, "Oh, I may play ball next fall, but I will never sign that," and then he says, "Now me and my loser friends are going to go buy Aerosmith tickets. Top priority of the summer."
It's good.
And then, of course, you just got to keep living, man. LIVIN. It's pretty great.
I think, has there been because I think it was, I don't know whether it's chicken or the egg thing, but what came first? Was it Wooderson or was it Matthew McConaughey's actual persona? Because I know. I think, because this was his first film ever. Yeah. First film ever. The way that the character of Wooderson is written, it has to be Wooderson first. Has there been another character actor or whatever who has then modelled their entire persona and life over one vaguely pederast character?
Which leads me on to best line. You've got I just love the crudeness of the. That's what I love about these high school girls. It's the character to a T.
So you're a freshman, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, man, how's this year's crop of freshman chicks looking?
What, you're gonna end up in jail sometime really soon, I know that. Fact.
No, man.
Yeah.
No, man, I tell you.
Yeah.
That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age.
Yes, they do. Go.
Yes, they do.
But that's the second best line. The best line is, of course, Mike going, I want to dance.
That is good.
Wonderful.
It's great stuff. What's the change? Will wants a plot.
just put Ratatouille on.
That's my.
Oh my
that's
God.
like my.
What a film.
That's like my family's big thing. If like the amount of times that we watch a film, and it ends, and they just go, "Yeah, but nothing really happened." They do that all the time. Up in the Air, nothing happens in Up in the Air. Marriage Story, nothing happens in Marriage Story. The Favourite we watched the other night, nothing happens in The Favourite. These are films where lots of things happen. So I can only imagine if we watched this.
Yeah, but it's more realistic because sometimes nothing really does happen.
Well,
You're looking for something to do.
It's the reverse John Hughes movie, as he said. He
Mm.
wanted, he found it very weird when, in the space of a day or a weekend, the high school girl gets pregnant, they've crashed the car, they win the tournament, and they do all this in the space of a weekend. In reality, you drive around looking for something to do, and sometimes you find it, sometimes you don't. Or you just sit alone and rewatch The Godfathers, which was, well, I don't want to give anything away, but a friend, that's what they used to do. Ava, as like shoving a knife in your baby as it is, oh, what a horrible way to put that. It is your favourite film. If you were to be brutal, is there a change? What's the change?
I wouldn't change it, like, how I said about the hazing, but that was always the bit that we're all kind of like, what's that about? But now you're obviously used to it. And it is satisfying when Banyan gets his paint encounter. Change, no, because I think that everything, it just comes down to being like really, really authentic. And obviously you can't really say it's accurate because it's fictional, obviously, but I just think exactly that. The pace of which it is, like however many different locations they go to, like the narratives, Pink's struggle of, wanting to make a statement about not signing it, and just, I think it just, it's very relatable to me, even though I haven't experienced that. But yeah, wouldn't change.
I don't want to check. This is the thing, isn't it? Of course.
Yeah.
What's left for Will's notes, if anything?
I've got, what are you looking at? Wipe that face off your head. That's wonderful. And George Washington, Aliens.
Yeah, good theory.
A wonderful. It's a true theory, Tom. It's real.
Oh, okay. Conspiracy corner next time. George Carlin in the locker. I love George Carlin. That's that.
Look at it this way. Think of how stupid the average person is, and then realize half of them are stupider than that.
Deliverance references. There's more than a few. Very niche. I mean, obviously it's 76. People don't reference Deliverance anymore, do they?
No.
Is that for the better or for the worse? I mean, you'll never be Robin Williams's and Billy Crystal's I was in a touring company of Deliverance the musical. Squeal like you know me, squeal like you need me.
So nasty. Oh, it's incredible. I was in the road company of Deliverance. We had a thing like squeal like you know me, squeal like you need me. Oh, God. I know.
So you're never going to beat that, so you might as well just stop. Mitch's sister. Good stuff. And she looks to be a good kisser as well. What if I do get a girlfriend, and then suddenly,
One can hope.
well, one can dream, like Martin Luther King, and I mean his dream is a little different. And then suddenly, the podcast is like 30 minutes long because I'm not talking about the women in the film. That
Got to cut it all out.
I can't talk about. It's a good job we're doing the Fletch episode next week, because nothing's going to happen within a week, and I'll be able to talk about Dana Wheeler Nicholson, what a woman, as Gail Stanwyck. But we'll get to that next week. Oh, and of course, Michelle.
Chevy Chase. Oh.
I mean, I do love Chevy Chase. Bring me the Beatles White Album, Glass of Fat, and bring me the head of Alfredo Garcia.
Can I get you something?
Yeah, do you have the Beatles White Album? Never mind, just get me a glass of hot fat. And bring me the head of Alfredo Garcia while you're out there.
What a great... I love Fletch. Ava doesn't think this. Maybe this is complete arrogance. Do you not think, Will, that I have, with the dry sense of humour thing, I have a vague Chevy Chaseness? Because lots of people don't like me. Lots of people think I'm a prick. I'm tanned. I always do the falling over thing, and the dry sense of humour.
When have you ever done the falling over thing?
I do the falling over thing all the time. That's one of my go-to gags.
I've never seen you do that in the nearly 2 years I've known you.
Wow, you better. Whoa.
You're a cross between Chevy Chase and John Candy.
I'll take that.
No, I think Dan Aykroyd.
Oh yeah. That's what Phil always said. That's literally and it's a very specific thing, so it must be true. Phil 3 years ago said, "I rewatched Trading Places. That's where you're Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places." And then you said it, Ava, and it was like, okay, that's very, very specific. And I can see it a little bit. Anyway, enough about me. Little old me. Renee Zellweger, she's in this.
Yeah. She was an extra, though.
Yeah, but...
Hence the uncreditedness.
Yeah. Well, we love Renee. I think we could do a Renee month, and I would do like 5 films and not actually pick a Bridget.
We've missed our shot. We've missed our shot though, because it would have to be Ren April.
What do you think this is only going to last?
Ren August.
Then in Ren August we just watch Footloose.
Yes.
Different versions of Footloose. But because I love Bridget Jones, but I love Down with Love, and I love Jerry Maguire. Jerry Maguire, Chicago, Cold Mountain. Get off of here! That's my Cold Mountain impression. Buying the beer, I like that scene. Hey, you're 18.
Oh yeah, when he's like, and he's selling to the pregnant woman, he's like, make sure you eat 1 green thing a day.
Yeah, it's a classic gag. You can't beat them. They do it in Hairspray when they welcome to the 60s and they clink the martinis and then it pans out. Hey, Tracy, hey, baby, look at us. This Hef is fabulous. Go. Jerry Stiller. Good old.
What a man.
Ben's. Harvey Ballstein.
Yeah, is he better as Harvey or as Mr. Pink?
Mr. Pink. Get me donuts. Because he was Christopher Walken in the 1980s John Waters Hairspray.
Mm-hmm.
Who was Velma Von Tussle?
Who?
Oh, I don't.
Debbie Harry.
Really?
That's right.
So, you know.
Ricky Lake was Tracy. Who was Edna?
Divine. John Waters,
yeah.
drag star, yeah. And then Divine unfortunately died just before Hairspray came out.
That's very sad.
It was very sad. Serial Mum. That's the bonus episode. We need to watch Serial Mum. I love Serial Mom. Kathleen Turner, what a woman. Yeah, Kathleen Turner, Serial Mom. That is one of my favourite dark comedies. Serial Mom, anybody? Serial Mom, anybody? Serial Mom, anybody? Serial Mom, anybody? Oh, we love Serial Mom.
Hello?
Is this the cocksucker residence?
God damn you, stop calling here!
Isn't this 4215 Pussy Way?
You bitch!
Now let me check the zip code. 212, fuck you!
Yeah, good stuff. I've never killed anybody. Right. Tom's Book Corner. It's not a book. Alternate ending corner. It's no alternate endings. A few fun facts, though. The character of Wooderson was based on Matthew McConaughey's older brother. In the scene where the kid's about building the paddles, the teacher in the shop is sleeping. He's actually a real teacher and still works there. I mean, he might be dead by the time that they made this. The famous one is obviously that Richard Linklater's first film cost under $2,000, and then the first shot of Dazed and Confused cost more than $2,000 because of the use of Aerosmith's Sweet Emotion.
Yeah.
The movie waited over a year after its US debut for its UK release. Don't know why. Richard Linklater is a huge fan of Hitchcock, particularly Psycho. There are two references, the first of which being the opening that states the date and time, like in Psycho. The second is seen on a sign behind, the thing that reads Hitchcock Family Plot. The beer drunk by most of the cast, excluding minors, boringly, was actually real beer. Jason London, however, refused to drink on the set and was trying to stop smoking as well.
Wonderful.
The word man is said how many times?
Ooh. I'm really bad at estimating.
Closest without going 1,000. It's the closest without going over. So we'll give Ava the benefit of being a guest.
120.
120. Will.
101.
203 times.
Wow.
That's a lot.
How many times is the word fuck said? Will, you can take it first.
I think it's less. I think it's around about 60.
I would say 80.
59. Will.
Oh!
No, it's closest without going over, so nobody gets a point. And there's not that many fun facts. I mean, there's lots, obviously, but it should be called Facts That Tom Finds Interesting Corner. Ava, obviously, you're not a historian on the subject, but you like the film a lot. Anything you want to shed light on?
No.
Very good.
Well, no.
Tom's big question. No, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Tom's big question.
Oh.
We've done best song, best character.
Pink.
Yo. Vil. The Elephant Man.
It was McConaughey's character. What's he called?
Wooderson.
He was the most film-worthy character for me.
Yeah. I love Don.
Don never did it for me. Like, he's funny, and like I love the bit when he's like that to the kid in a hallway. Yeah, he's just kind of like
also.
That.
I don't know.
Slater.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe he takes the cake.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty great.
Pretty great. Don's tips on Julie, on that Julie chick. You like the Julie chick? It's got a weird face. Like, I don't know why you don't use that more often. The only time I've ever used it works great. Anyway. What's that? Somebody should make an edit from all the episodes of all the miserable glimpses
with the sad violin meme music
into Tom's
it'd be like
life.
Tom Carruthers is going to crack one day. And it's just a little clip. Yeah, well, I'm surprised that I like this character because my ego, man. Synopsis of a sequel. There is a sequel.
Is
well,
there?
in a way, it's called Everybody Wants Some, and it's in the 80s, and it's the same thing of, you know, a bunch of people. It's none of the same characters, but it's, you know, same director, same writer, same sort of, you know, nothing happens. Well, you'd hate it. And yeah, it's great. I'm surprised you haven't watched it yet, Ava. It's great.
And it's Linklater.
It's Linklater. It's great. Zoe Deutsch, who's famous daughter. We talked about her last week.
What did we talk about last week?
Back to the Future. It's Leah Thompson's daughter.
Really?
Yeah, she's great. She's great in the film, yeah. No, I really liked Everybody Wants Some. Yeah, really good. It's weird because the friends that I used to have, it was always, you need to watch Dazed and Confused. We all love Everybody Wants Some. Why haven't you watched Dazed and Confused? And now it's the other way around. Apart from with Will, who I don't think I could watch this film again. Yeah. Closing line Hall of Fame. Are you drunk? Nah. I don't think that's that bad. We've had some stinkers. I don't think that's that bad, actually.
I really don't like him.
I don't either, Mitch. I don't think he's.
Yeah.
I think that's my change. Recast him with digital. Put a young Joe Pesci. Take the files from the Irishman and put this in the.
Oh my god.
Are you cool? You motherfucker! What the fuck's so cool about me? Hey, what's that movie? The Cincinnati Kid who bang dance.
I really fear for how the kids in Home Alone must have felt. He's terrifying. One of the scariest guys.
He did keep accidentally swearing, is the famous and the scenes, yeah. That annoys me when people say that Joe Pesci is the Home Alone guy. I mean, he is, and he's great in it.
I saw a meme about when you're watching Goodfellas and you see the burglar from Home Alone, and it's the Leonardo DiCaprio meme, like
stuff. I like how, even though I was the one who showed you the group, you keep saying, like, I saw this meme the other day, and I'm like, yeah, I saw the same meme. I
yeah, because it's literally everywhere. I'm a member of the Al Pacino group.
Yeah,
and
the member of the De Niro one
group.
and the Pesci one. And,
why are they so mean to De Niro?
They're mean to
sad.
Yeah, the De Niro one's always like, Al Pacino's a small, angry cokehead, and the Pacino one's always like calling Robert De Niro a virgin.
I know, they're like, De Niro's a virgin. I'm like,
can we not like them?
I know. And then like there's all these memes, but like Pesci's the peacemaker between them. Oh,
Irishman. That'll be a good episode. And then Sophia can come in for the first 5 minutes and then leave. Oh my god.
She didn't finish it.
Oh, get past halfway. She didn't. Oh, totally understand. You know what I don't like? People that say that film's too long or is boring, because I know that art is objective, but it is arguably neither of those things. It's definitely not boring. I've watched it through like 5 times, and it's a 3.5-hour film. We go back to Endgame. I sat through Endgame. I will never watch Endgame again. I have watched The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2 at least twice a year for my entire life. Even when I was a baby. No, but like pretty young, like definitely like 9 or 10. And I could watch Godfather Part 2 now, and that's 3.5 hours. I could watch The Irishman now, and that's 3.5 hours. I will never, unless I'm gagged and bound, watch Endgame. And on that sadomasochistic note, do we have any final thoughts on this film?
Great soundtrack. That's all I can say.
And that's
listen to 70s rock. Go make a playlist. The music of the 70s is very good.
It's a hot take, Will. Miss Robinson.
Yeah, I second that. It's great because you don't need to be like, oh, it's 70s. I don't like the 70s, or I wasn't born in the 70s or anything to relate to it. Get past the, like, appreciate all of the things that make it specific to that era, but also find relatability in the characters and what they're going through, because it's pretty universal.
Indeed. I love this film. I loved it again, watching it again. I've loved this episode. I love you. It's like It's a Wonderful Life. Merry Christmas, you all building a lawn. Oh, Merry Christmas, you all picking nanny. I shit in my house. Oh. What do you want? What do you want, Mary? I'll grab the moon. I'll play hard. I'll swallow it whole. Like moonbeams coming out your fingers. You like It's a Wonderful Life, don't you, Ava? Oh, no, you don't. I knew there was something. Oh, no.
That's 3 red flags in one episode.
I know.
I know what you do like.
What?
That was very ominous. You like Scrooged.
Yes, I do like Scrooged.
You'll be on for the Scrooged episode, no doubt.
I will be.
Yeah, and you'll come after me if you're not. But also with Scrooged, like, that final scene isn't like your favourite thing.
I don't get emotionally attached to it and cry like you do.
I cry every time. Oh.
And this is coming from me. I cry at a lot of movies that you wouldn't necessarily think are that deep. But Scrooge, no, not one of them.
I love it. What'd you say, big man? Did I forget something?
This is everyone.
Did I forget something, big man?
God bless everyone.
and then Audrey Woodard goes there.
Oh.
Sing for your better man, put a little love in your heart. Go on, everybody, let's. That's how we'll end this episode. Like Scrooged. Come on, everybody, sing along. Sing for your better man, put a little love in your heart. Now, everybody on that side of the theatre doesn't work when you're watching it on the DVD.
I know.
Now, everybody on the left side. Now the men.
Top hat. Has
now
anyone
the
suited?
real men. Feed me, Seymour.
God, feed me.
What a great film.
It kind of like creeps me out though.
Why?
Like just the whole, like, when, what's his name? His boss. No, not Frank. What's his name? Oh.
It's not Charlton Heston. It's...
Oh my God, no, what's the name of the character?
Frank.
Frank, no.
Frank Cross is Bill Murray.
Yeah, Frank Cross, but his boss. Anyway, when he comes as the metaphorical Jacob Marley, that and like the birds coming out of his head and holds him out the window. Nah.
He does the classic Mark Wahlberg gag where he knocks an eye out.
Took a page from Marky Mark's book.
Took a page from
Backstreet
the book.
Boston.
Backstreet Boston Vietnamese racial attacks. Which was the name of his album. I'm kidding. I'm not. Or am I? Boogie Nights, though, great. That episode will be coming soon. Next week, Fletch. What a guy.
Chevy.
What a guy. Chevy Chase, also known as. I'm kidding. I'm not. I wish. Wish fulfillment. Yeah. Anyway, Chevy Chase is great. Fletcher's great. Dazed and Confused is great. Ava Robinson's great. Will's great. And I'm not too bad.
Da-ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-